Okay, right. Good afternoon. There are two kinds of compotes, a covered compote and a true open compote. The true open compote, having a ruffled or fluted top, was intended originally to hold fresh fruit. The covered compote was for anything that had a liquid, such as a fruit salad, stewed peaches or rhubarb, etc. And this lid was essential to keep flies and insects away. Compotes are all-purpose serving dishes, bowls or vessels, usually on a pedestal or some kind of footed stand. They can be used to hold special desserts, fruits, candies or sauces, jellies and other foods. Blown or pressed glass compotes provided a culinary presentation method suitable to 19th century middle-class households. They can be used in lieu of a standard bowl where you want to add visual interest and height. They are popular as a centerpiece to float candles in, to display freshly cut flowers from the garden, or for holiday decorations like tree ornaments or Easter eggs. A popular use among those who like to use their compotes, while not being used as a serving piece, is to place a large pillar candle in the centre and make a flower arrangement circling the candle. In England, the earliest dates for compote dish manufacturing aren't specified. Records show that Chance Brothers produced glass in 1840 for the Houses of Parliament and in 1851 for the Crystal Palace. John Derbyshire was renowned for his flint glass in the 19th century, suggesting advancements in decorative glass objects were underway in the early 1800s. However, the first manufacturer of compote dishes in England is not known. In the United States, pinpointing the very first manufacturer to produce a compote dish is difficult. The Boston and Sandwich Glass Company is a well-documented early maker of pressed glass compotes, with examples dating to circa 1830. The development and widespread production of pressed glass in America, particularly by firms like Sandwich, made these pedestal dishes more acceptable and popular in the mid-19th century, with the process allowing for ornate designs and greater visual interest. The name compote is derived from the Latin word compositus, meaning mixture. In late medieval England, it was served at the beginning of the last course of a feast, or sometimes the second out of 3 courses, often accompanied by a creamy pottage. During the Renaissance, it was served chilled at the end of dinner. In medieval Europe, a mixture of whole or cut fruit cooked in water or a sugar syrup was believed to balance the body's humidity. It was initially served at the start of the last course of feasts. During the Renaissance, it transitioned to a chilled dessert at the end of the meal. Its ease of preparation and dairy-free nature made it a household staple, particularly in Jewish communities, and its popularity spread across Eastern Europe and beyond, inspiring variations like the Eastern European compote. Compote number 1. Also known as jeweled moon and stars, little shrine or shrine, was 1880 design by the Beatty Brady Glass Company. It was first sold in the 1890s. It continued to be sold by the Indiana Glass Company. Number 2. Known as stipple sandbar and manufactured by Beatty Brady. In 1903, it was introduced by a national glass company known as Beatty Brady Works, later sold by Indiana Glass and was given a new name of Mars. The Beatty Brady Glass Company was located in Dunkirk, Indiana, in a building initially constructed for the Pennsylvania Railroad. Founded by George Beatty and James Brady in 1896, the factory was acquired by the National Glass Company in 1899 and became known as the Beatty Brady Works. In 1904, it was renamed the Indiana Glass Company. Number 3. Number 15043, also known as feather duster, huckle, rosette medallion. It was manufactured by US Glass Pittsburgh, who were in business between 1891 and 1962. It was introduced in 1895. This was referenced by Sid Lethbridge in May 2017. Number 4, please. Also known as Excelsior, King's Crown, or King's Crown Thumbprint, it was manufactured by Adams & Co. Pittsburgh. Adams originally called the pattern XLCR and made it in clear glass. It was continued in Factory A by US Glass with ruby stain. Number 5, please. This one is known as wheat and barley and was manufactured by Bryce Brothers in the 1870s. US Glass manufactured it in Factory B in the 1890s, also known as Duquesne's, hops and barley, and oats and barley. The United States Glass Company was a trust formed by the combination of numerous glass companies in 1891. The factories were located from western Pennsylvania to Indiana. Number 6, please. There are 2 of this in different shapes. It's known as Frosted Block and was manufactured by Imperial Glass. Number 7, please. Also known as Star Medallion or Amelia Star Medallion, number 671, it was manufactured by Imperial Glass circa the 1920s. Number 8, please. Named by Imperial Glass as Diamond. The Imperial Glass Company is located in Bel Air, Ohio, on a factory located on 29th Street, and the offices are located on Belmont Street. The factory was raised in 1995 to make room for commercial development, and the Belmont Street location was transformed into a museum known as the National Imperial Glass Museum. Number 9, please. This is number 353, American Beauty, also known as Ohio Star, manufactured by Crystal Glass Company, who were in business from 1888 to 1907, and this was introduced in about 1905. The Crystal Glass Company was formed in 1888 when a group of investors led by Captain Ed Muellerman purchased the bankrupt LA Bell factory in Bridgeport, Ohio. The factory was up and operating by May 1889. Crystal operated independently until November 1899, when in 1900 the factory stock and equipment were purchased by the National Glass Company. There was a dispute in the purchase cost, and as a result, National Glass leased the company back to Crystal for $20,000 a year and sold their products under the name of Crystal. In February 1901, Crystal leased the West Virginia Glass Works, located in Martins Ferry, Ohio, from National because they did not have sufficient capacity to meet their orders. The long run of the Crystal Glass Company came to an end in December when the National Glass Company went into receivership. And because Crystal leased the factory from National and did not own it, they were affected. Some attempts were made to operate under a receiver, but in the fall of 1908, the factory closed. Number 10, please. This one is called Monarch, that's the old manufacturer's name, and also known as Beautiful Lady, and was manufactured by Bryce Higbee, who were in operation from 1879 to 1907. Introduced in 1902, Higbee, a former salesman from Bryce Brothers Glass, went into business with Edwin Bryce in 1879, starting as Bryce, Higbee and Company. This company had a fairly prosperous go, but sometime around 1907, J.B. Higbee branched out on his own, creating J.B. Higbee and Co. Number 11, please. This is also known as scrolled floral medallion or tiara sandwich, manufactured by Indiana Glass Company in 1950. Indiana Glass Company was an American company that manufactured pressed, blown and hard-molded glassware and tableware for almost 100 years. They were founded in 1907. They ceased operations in 2002 and their parent organisation is now Anchor Hocking. Number 12, please. This one is known as M6000, manufactured by E.O. Brody, Cleveland, Ohio, circa 1960s. E.O. Brody refers to the E.O. Brody Company, a manufacturer of glassware particularly popular for its milk glass and green glass items sold to the florist trade. The company was founded in 1958 in Cleveland, Ohio by Ernest Oscar Brody and later acquired by Lancaster Colony Corporation in 1971. E.O. Brody products are known for their utility in the floral industry and are often found in vintage collections. And now the mystery glass, please. I concluded my presentation showing a compote that I couldn't find any information about and asked if any members could help identify. Sid didn't know the specific pattern, but thought that it was likely dated between 1917 and the mid-1920s. It was partially pressed and then details were cut, the flowers for example. The method was patented by US Glass and Duncan & Miller, but licensed to McKee, Cambridge, Westmoreland, Imperial and perhaps others. That concludes my presentation. Thank you.